solution and be part of the change. Thank you so much. The floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much. I would just like to find out if I'm audible to the audience. If I'm audible.
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you. A solution, or probably the solution. Now, the presentation I'm about to give is the Library Knowledge Ambassador, in which I'll be giving a user's perspective. So first of all, to begin, I'd just like to give insight as to what my presentation will be about. So the certain things that I'll be tackling upon is that we'll look into the definition of what is, or should I say, to understand what Knowledge Ambassador is, the role of library agents, the benefits of having Knowledge Ambassador as library agents, as well as the role as student peer education. And fifth, we'll also be looking at the benefits of Knowledge Ambassadors as student peer education, how Knowledge Ambassador can help universities, institutions, or even libraries, and also moving on to communities. And I'll also illustrate an example of where Knowledge Ambassador programs exist, either it being universities or projects that have been seen feasible, and also give an understanding as to what skills or qualities, given that we want to now bring in forth an action plan and how we want to take it upon bringing it to life. What would we want to look into? And also there will be, then I'll conclude that. And just as a culture, it has been a culture when you are welcome to the library, there's always a concept of you need to acknowledge the author or the information you've got. So I'll also share the reference list of certain information that I'll be using in my slides. Now, to begin off with the discussion or the presentation, it's very important to understand that Knowledge Ambassador, or to defining Knowledge Ambassador, according to Kib and Kwanya in 2015, they defined this as the Knowledge Ambassadors are student volunteers who support academic librarians in their efforts to increase the use of library information resource. And furthermore, these individuals are excited to promote information service to their peers. And I must say that it is through this program, because while I'll explain how the concept Knowledge Ambassador came into play as I go through my slides. Now you need to understand that it's student volunteers, and this can be learners also in the same nutshell. Now, in other words, also Knowledge Ambassadors, these are individuals that are also dedicated dedicated to individuals by helping others acquire knowledge. Because you get to learn something that others don't know, you then tend to share it with others. It's more like when I got to understand about how to reference and how to cite and how to get the necessary resources on information that my student peers or friends could not understand, I had passion to assist them so that we wouldn't fail assignments. So it was much more of, let me share what I've learned, and it's because of the body or the program of Knowledge Ambassador. And in another facility, it serves to facilitate, it serves as facilitators and mentors and guiders for peers. So I think all in all, what to define Knowledge Ambassadors is, one can simplify it and say that it's students or learners or individuals who are passionate about serving and supporting library information and the use of library information resources. Because lo and behold, we now live in a modern era whereby it is not just about the hard copy book that you find in the library, but it goes beyond black and white documents or pages. It has now gone into a world of digital space. And also when we look at inclusion and diversity, we then need to ask ourselves, how do we explore the sentiments of enhancing library information resources and library use? Because having seen and listened to all the presentations, you'd hear that there has been a limited number, or sometimes the downfall in the usage of library, but then probably what if it's the transition or the transition of how technology, the fourth industrial revolution is coming on. And this is what Knowledge Ambassador has also tackled upon, of which I'll be going into now. Now, first of all, to look, the picture that is being depicted, that is a picture from taken in 2018 on the 4th of, on the 16th of April at the International University of Management. This was the Library Week. It's more of a cultural, or should I say calendar program that the library initially runs, whereby it's information briefing, sharing about e-resources that equipped students and learners to know, and even lectures for that incident and stuff about different e-resources and search engines that they can help aid them with their academic use. Now, the role of library agents in this regard is number one, to promote, to assist users, and also to organize. Now, one can also look into this, that knowledge ambassadors help promote library resources and services and programs. In this regard, this, as the picture shows in itself, you'd see that this was a student-centered focus. The librarians would assist to guide us in cases whereby when we wouldn't understand, or if it was complex to a harder level, because as the saying goes, one would much more correspond or cope more with their peers. Henceforth, because students are literally, we were sitting on these computers and we were explaining to our peers that, look, this is how I didn't fail my research, or this is how I didn't fail my assignment, is because I went to this source when I did not find this book in the library. Henceforth, it promotes that culture that, okay, look, if I don't find it, how can I get it the other way? And also, it also assists users to find materials. We've also encountered assisting lectures, because lecturers would ask, okay, how do we get to find, or how can I recommend the right information, or is this, are we outdated with this AP referencing style, or is there a certain way the students can get to improve their academic work and papers? Now that is how we used it, and also looking at different navigation systems and databases such as journals and online journals, search engines such as Emerald, EBSCO, Post, and just all these digital library spaces where we could even download. We even came to a point where, as library agents, we got to realize that, look, you can actually download a whole PDF book or for free that might not be physically in the library. And with that, I only got to know with the knowledge of Knowledge Ambassador, because we had, you'd find that within the spaces of literature and information, there are certain books or certain documents or papers that strictly, maybe it requires you to search in that area and you might not find it elsewhere. But because of these initiatives, it helps you get it. And even if you cannot achieve it, the library would liaise with creating accounts where they could download it for students, and then they could be facilitated in that methodology. Now, moving on, the benefits of knowledge, the KA stands for Knowledge Ambassador as library agents. Now, that's also another picture of Knowledge Ambassadors. This was a group of, I'm also in that picture, sort of like the team that was then back in 2018, sort of like the volunteers, if I must put it that way, the volunteers that were Knowledge Ambassadors. Now, one might ask themselves as to, okay, so what do we benefit, or what is the benefit basically of Knowledge Ambassador as a library agent? Now, here are some of the benefits that I picked up and I witnessed myself. Number one, there is an increased accessibility to library resources. At first, I only knew about the library as just a place with books. Growing up, that's what I knew, that the library is a place where I just go and find a book or a novel. But then I got to realize that no, the library goes beyond the books. It goes beyond just hard copy, but it also goes to data. And how can I access this data in a certain way? What do I need? And also still that the benefit of being a Knowledge Ambassador is that it enhances research skills and critical thinking. Because of this, because of being a member of a knowledge and a volunteer student as a Knowledge Ambassador, I got to enhance my research skills and critical thinking skills, because now as the saying goes, when you have more than enough, more resources, you have more context, and when you have more context, you have a proper document to submit or to actually project out, rather than just having one document or one book that each and everyone recites from. And also this gives you a different overview of how certain things operate or how certain things move in today's society. And also it gives an insight of critical thinking, because now it was a team where we would have to think and ask ourselves, how can we help benefit other students at the university in terms of their research, their academic performance now. And to go through that, we need to think as to what is interesting to students. What do students really want? Do they want to come to the library? Most definitely in an African context, we only see people come to a library when it's a certain project, but then we had to instill a culture of this is necessary because without the library or e-resources knowledge, you can't move forward, even it being on your personal life. And also lastly, it improves the engagement and sense of belonging. Why I say this is, it is only when one arrives in a community of information, and if you don't have a tribe that assists or that supports the vision or what you are researching on, you tend to distance, and when you distance, you are excluded. Exclusion leads to a society whereby people live with the concept of not knowing. When you don't know, anything can hit you. And in this regard, looking at it from a serious perspective of a student, when you do not have friends that can help you or help you navigate the academic space of understanding the library, e-resources, and all this, you end up failing. And when you end up failing, you repeat years, and henceforth, that is not what you want for your whole academic life, because as extra fees, funds, and all that. Now, when you have a culture of friends, a sense of belonging, we'd even have peers within that group. We would have the librarians as I would say our mentors, because they had the bigger understanding. So in terms of assignments, we'd even bring our projects and showcase and say that, look, this is my assignment. Is it proper? Did I plagiarize? Or sometimes as a team would come together and say that, no guys, I'm having an assignment. I'm not quite sure if I did the right job. Kindly assist me, let's see if everything is correct. No, those are the benefits of library agents. But most importantly, when a sense of belonging is created, there is a sense of continuity. I think this is one of the reasons why I still advocate about library education and use of information, research, and all these databases. Now, the role of student peer education in a nutshell is that knowledge ambassadors serve as peer educators, because it is in itself, it already establishes a culture of we are speaking to other students or other young people as I am, because when they see that, okay, wait a minute, we came together at this university, you were not faster or intelligent than me, but how are you getting it right? So now it then fosters a culture, because one might fear coming to the library. I remember I had a friend who never liked coming to the library because he was afraid of the elderly, even the lectures. So his only means of communication was the WhatsApp chats, or probably engaging with the knowledge ambassador, say that, no guys, I can only speak to you because I feel free, at ease with you. Yes, whereby they would say that I feel at ease working with you. And then the other one is that this promotes, as knowledge ambassador, we also tend to facilitate study groups and tutorial sessions and offer guidance. And you can see that from the group, from the picture that, I think this was a cultural week whereby we had to say something or describe what that certain word means in your native language, and you would write something about it. So this was more like to educate each other and give each other insight on this regard. And also, when you speak about facilitating study groups, without a study group, you end up not having enough resources or enough information. Henceforth, it limits the quality of what you are researching or what you are studying about. But when you're in a study group, you help the group find different ways of understanding information, or even slides that might have not been clear or concise within a lecture or a tutorial session in a lecture building. And the other one is it promotes collaborative learning and supportive environment, in short. And moving on, now the benefits of knowledge ambassadors as student peer educators or education is, at the end of the day, all this results to enhancing academic performance and understanding, because when there is peer education and knowledge ambassador, there is that clash. Personally, I picked up an increase in terms of my academic performance, because I would literally have an understanding of, I can rest the whole 2 weeks and do my assignment within 2 days, because I knew which site to go to seek resources, rather than when I was a first year student and I had to literally wait for one book to return to the library. I have to ask the librarian that, no, please tell me when this book comes back, because mind you, we live in hard carbon copy might not be enough, or should I say to full capacity or large numbers. Henceforth, you'd have to wait. If someone already took it, you don't have it, and now it compromises on the quality of your academic performance in terms of qualities of papers that you provide. And then the other one is that it boosts confidence. As the saying goes, when you know what you're doing and when you know what you're writing and when you know the sources and sites you are getting and its credibility, you're confident in what you're doing. So it was much more of an ease, because I knew even my lecturers would recommend and say that whatever citation I'm using is good, because and the books that I'm getting is different from how other students are getting information, because in the world of academia, professors or scholars want to see more extra work done. But then when you provide less context, they would say that this is simple and it doesn't give grounding, if I must put it that way. Henceforth, it boosted my confidence, because I was now the go-to person in terms of, can you just go through my assignment? Even if I had little information, there was that trust level from my peers coming to us and helping each other trade. And also the other one, it basically empathy, relatability, and support. Because I failed an assignment before and I know how it feels, and honestly, that was, I remember, I share a personal experience. It was, we used to call it, it's currently called academic writing here in the current curriculum. I remember I even had a bad dream. It was my first year. I remember I just had a dream. I got a 20%, and lo and behold, I looked at my portal. I got a 20%, and when I got back, I realized that it was because of research knowledge, and actually not knowing how to use the library effectively. But through the benefits of being a knowledge ambassador, I got to learn how to do it better, and I got to meet people that have been in that cycle, and I grew out of it. Now, something that maybe to pause a little bit here at this point is how knowledge ambassadors can help offer or play a vital role in terms of, or help universities. This goes beyond universities, and it can also be libraries or national libraries in terms of communities, just to touch on that. Now, we need to understand that, number one, knowledge ambassadors enhance student engagement through library resources and programs. Because I'm coming to the library, even if I'm just to search for information on climate change, or perhaps on dress codes. I know I might not find a book about dress code. I like the presentation. Is it Farah presented? You see, I might not get a book about dress code or work ethics and how I should appear, but with the right e-resources, this comes with the knowledge of the right e-resources. I would then be able to actually understand it in a broader concept. So I can bring a friend that is interested in what they love doing. If someone loves art and they can find someone like, look, let's go to the library, or let's use these e-resources that the library provides. It will help you with your personal career, your personal development, growth, and even on your business life, or should I say your student engagement life. Now, student engagement enhances, which means there is quality of research paper in the academics. And when there is quality of research or academic documentation or assignments, that shows a different trajectory of how one thinks and how one seeks or acquires information. And that is one thing that universities or institutions want, is to understand, are we producing quality or we are producing another blank page? Now, to understand if you're producing quality, there needs to be ink on it. And this is what Knowledge Ambassador does, is that it helps bring people to the ink. And ink, we need to understand, ink can be in two ways. It can be digital and it can be in pen. Now, still on that, how, just to move on number 2, it also improves academic performance through peer education. Now, I think this is one of the, it's within every culture. Everyone wants to see you grow, succeed, and win. And if students are academically enhanced and understand the usage of library and also the of usage of library e-resources, this helps them in their academic performance. Henceforth, they end up graduating, and we don't have people repeating modules and yearly having a large number of people in one faculty, because failure is a result of not having had information. But had we had that information, that would have been the difference. But now this information comes in a friendly way. It comes through knowledge ambassador, more like another student, another friend, whereby you are even just having a chat. We used to say that when the library office hours go down, e-library goes on. So meaning that learning did not stop from there, and we kept on moving. Now the other thing is that it also strengthened library services and research culture. Believe you me that when it's very important, because a university's quality is also graded according to its research culture. How the quality of documentation or the quality of research it produces from its institution, its number of students, and also performance out there in the workspace. Because if one is unable to research, then how do they solve a problem? Because problem solving skills also require you to research, to know the how. And the benefits of knowledge ambassador, it aids in being the bridge to this, to then say that, look, let's strengthen these services and find a way as to ensuring that everyone is at the same standard level and everyone can push in the same direction, and also foster a culture of research rather than what we see in today's society, where as in when, let's take a simple scenario whereby when you are learning from your friend, you actively participate, or you are involved. But when you're just learning from an external perspective, you end up copying and pasting. Now, from a knowledge ambassador perspective, it fosters the culture of, look, you can also do it, you need to do it, or do it this way, rather than you just copying and pasting and limiting the quality. And as I said, that it also fosters a collaborative learning environment. Now, because one is a knowledge ambassador, they then also go out into the community and train and teach other young people. Because I knew how to do this digitally, so I could teach even younger siblings or even young people that I meet that go to high schools or preschools that were trying to do their homeworks. You know, it's the hardest thing a parent can go through is helping their child do their homework, and they don't understand if they can find it in the library, especially when you go off work at 5 o'clock. So e-resources, it helps with collaborative learning in terms of the whole environment. You get to know what's happening outside and within. And the other point is that it helps with career development support for students, because now you would have a pack of knowledge ambassadors that probably are doing the same course as you are and have a broader understanding further in advance. And also it helps with it helps institution benefits such as reputation and student satisfaction. Because I'll be more I'm happy because I've gone through this process. I can confidently do a research paper without fear and contradiction. And even the masters that I'm doing, I'm sometimes questioned, how do I know AP? Because when you get into a master's level, you know, sometimes you get people that have been maybe in university after a long period of time. Now that come back and to go through the whole research methodology learning, but because as a knowledge ambassador, you still have those peers that come on board and help you, and you work together, makes life much more easier. And now to go shortly, how knowledge ambassador benefits the community, promotes lifelong learning by encouraging community members of all ages to explore new subjects and acquire new skills. Similarly to what I said, there's e-resources and understanding how to research and sort of like acknowledgement of certain content or information that is used, so that they do not plagiarize, because plagiarism is also going high these days. And also knowledge ambassadors play a crucial role in terms of bridging the digital divider within community. I say this with caution and pausing there, that we're moving into a digital space, and henceforth the trajectory of technology is coming in at very fast pace, and when someone has to walk only to access information to a library, it is a beauty. But if the library cannot come to the person as well in terms of digital spacing and understanding through a peer, we fail the community as well. So knowledge ambassador, because these are student peers, they're also found in the community. All you just need is your cell phone. The library, what I like about the library is that it has gone digital into this space. It has gone digital. However, once it has gone digital, it needs the right information power ranges that can sort of spread out the information in that regard. And still on that, the last one there on how it helps communities, that they provide assistance in terms of access to technology, navigation platforms, and digital literacy that I mentioned earlier. Now, there's another picture that is me in the northern parts of Namibia, specifically Kavango East Region, Rundu, in the Rundu Library, Community Library. Now, so basically what was happening here was giving a bit of communication and teaching people about library usage and how they can use it. It's a very old picture, that's 2018. So the beauty is that once I became a knowledge ambassador, I did not stop only on the university level. I was like, let me spread this out, because there are people in the community that don't receive this, but if they know, they might have children, or maybe they might refer someone to learn this information. Now, examples of knowledge ambassador programs or projects. Now, the terminology in terms of knowledge ambassador, to me, it was introduced through Emerald, Emerald Publishing, which I researched, and then where this project exists, one can find that there was a project workshop initiated by Emerald in 2013 at the Catholic University in Eastern Africa, specifically in Kenya, in terms aimed to enhancing the use of e-resources in academic libraries. Now, whereby 30 students from various universities participated in this training, and they became Emerald Knowledge Ambassadors. And they were tasked to share knowledge with their colleagues, promotion of library resources, and distribute materials as to e-resources websites where one can go, either it being EBSCO host, the different search engines that one can use, and how to actually get access. And then secondly, to the International University of Management, which is IUM, where I'm from, speaking under correction, because I joined in 2018, because in my first year that was 2017, so 2018 then I joined, and then there was a workshop in terms of training, of which I have pictures to support that in that regard. Now, moving on, these are pictures of Knowledge Ambassador program in terms of IUM Namibia. Now, I'd first begin off to the picture where you can see a large group of individuals. The picture quality is a bit quite sketchy. Down below on my far right here, you'd see that this was 2018 when I just joined recently, and you'd see that there was a group of students, and the gentleman here in white, was the university's SRC of academics, and he ensured that academia for students flourished, and he was also a member then. And also other students from different faculties, either it being education, tourism, business. I was from the finance faculty, and also we had a few, and also the librarian, as Mrs. Matthews here with us, who was a librarian at the International University back then. So she was also part of the program, and she would help educate us and then help us spread out this information to other students. And in terms of being peer educators, because we came from different faculties, and we were willing to learn, and also we were educated, trained as to how we can be peer educators in terms of knowledge ambassadors, and be effective and know all the search engines, even with the login details. I think that's one of the most challenging part one goes through, especially when you're looking for a document and it tells you login account, and if you don't know any of those accounts, you can't get those information. Now, as a knowledge ambassador, we had access and knowledge to that, and we could assist other peers to that. Similarly to that, this is also a meeting on top there with, this was also a meeting in 2018, where the training were being given by Mr. Sibu from Emerald back in the days in 2018, whereby we then awarded certificates to officiate or to acknowledge and more like a credit that yes, you've gone through the program training, you can now also train others. You have a bigger and a better understanding and knowledge in terms of being a knowledge ambassador program trainer. Now, behind, or just to go back a little bit, you'd see that there's a picture of two gentlemen wearing in suits. Now that is in 2018, 2019. Now, what happened here, because and the beauty of the aiding of Knowledge Ambassador program, Matthews and I, the gentleman in the black jacket suit, that's Matthews, Lucas, and this on the other side, that's myself. Because we went through training, we immediately took it upon to do a research paper in our second year at the National Research Symposium in Namibia. I think it took place at the Olympia, what's that building? Nimpang, yes, at Nimpang. So now, what was very interesting is that it's usually a culture to have a research paper. You know, growing up, you'd only produce a research paper when you're in your fourth year or final year. But at this point, we're not even close to that. But because of Knowledge Ambassador training program, and also through the auspices and supervision of Ms. Matthews, Elizabeth, and also Ms. Lucy Kian, we could produce a research document of which we presented at the research symposium competition. And one thing that was quite interesting is that our research was basically an investigation on the Knowledge Ambassador role, bridging the gap between students and research. Because now we personally, I and Matthew started realizing that, look, we were in the same problem when we were first years. How can we bridge that problem? And can we do a research about it? Because you basically research something you're passionate about, or a problem that you've been through. Now through that, we conducted a study whereby we only did, or should I say, covered only 176 undergraduate students, but the university is big, but because we were learning and we were being advised, don't put pressure much on yourself, it's a learning curve, it's a presentation, take it from there, you will get it right as time goes by. So we got to find out that through this presentation that most, or should I say, the students were presented to us through the findings that, through the findings you'd see that there was a need for creating more awareness of library resources on online and offline platforms. This was a suggestion because now students now were like, okay, we need much more of this. And then they'd also state that, look, conducting of more training for access to library resources. I think this then intertwines with what is happening either globally in terms of different library settings, whereby there's a need of more training to accessing library resources. Because despite how we might perceive it as people know, there's still a group that does not know, because, and some are ignorant, but we need to still put it in their face that, look, this is how it works. And still on that, there was quite interesting was the extension of the Knowledge Ambassador project to different campuses, because at the moment, the Knowledge Ambassador project was only focused in Windhoek, Namibia, at the university. So it wasn't at the satellite universities of the institution. So we also got such recommendation, because some only got to see that, oh my goodness, I was in the coastal campus or university of premises, and I did not have knowledge, or I did not know about this group. It would also be good if you could reach areas of such. And just in conclusion, or just to finalize, touch on the interpretation here, is that the finding also got to see that about 56.8 students were more aware of the library resources. And additionally, or should I say that students, the study revealed a level of influence in student information skills, whereas we found out that the students know about this, but because they do not have access, or because of that register or ignorance, it's more like when a notification comes on your phone. We know about it, but then we don't take it serious, only when it hits rock bottom in that regard. So that was on the point of just a few interpretations. It's also on research. The document is, or the research paper is also on ResearchGate. We placed it there as well. Now, skills and qualities of a knowledge ambassador, I think going forth, maybe to understand, maybe you might be asking yourself, how can we maybe then replicate or get this being done in our communities or libraries or universities or even institutions that have libraries? Now, there needs to be a strong communication and leadership, because number one, when it's peer-to-peer communication, one needs to know how to communicate, and communication is a two-way stream. It's also listening, because if you ask me about you want a document, I might give you the wrong site, but through proper communication, I might recommend you the proper site. And also leadership skills, because now you're working with a lot of people and students, and you're organizing trainings even in a private capacity, because you have to assist others and also get to help. And on the second one, there needs to be patience, empathy, and willingness, or willing to learn. In terms of patience, we need to understand that some will catch up at a slow pace, and you need to have a heart, because it doesn't do justice when people in society are suffering and we know about information and we don't want to reach it out to them. Henceforth, there's a need of increasement in terms of library agents. And I commend, I say librarians are heroes to each and every individual, because they assemble information in a manner that any individual going through a phase or a stage can dissolve it easily. Because I can imagine a point where, as in, you step in an environment whereby books are scattered, you do not know which area is which, or you do not know what resources or e-resources you need to get to actually enhance your knowledge, because it's through this that the assemblement of academia or documentation gets well and being done. And in conclusion, I would just say that every institution, body needs knowledge ambassadors, or even more librarians to say that input. And I think it will play a vital role, because it helps in all areas: promotion of library resources, peer education, and also enhancing engagement, learning, and creating a supportive environment. And with that, I would conclude. These are the reference of where we got the definition of, or you can find this documentation as well on eGate, and also the picture that I used at first, and some of the information used there. I think I'm planned there.
I know we've gone beyond time, but I didn't want to cut him, because it's important that we hear the views from the user's perspective. We've heard so much from us as information providers, but it is important to share experiences and evidence that actually the services that we are providing, this is the impact that these services are having on the users. So thank you so much. He continues to remain one of our greatest and active brands for our library, and we highly appreciate. I think we've gone beyond time. Let me not dilute what other presenters have already highlighted or outlined. I would like to give the floor to the new one chairperson, Ms. Namtenya Hamwalwa, to give her vote of thanks and closing remarks.
Thank you, Melba. At least you can see the face. Eh? It's nice to see the face, and just link the voice to the face. But then the background is not so well, so I'm going to put down the video. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very happy to actually be part of this webinar. And I'm filled with gratitude and admiration for this outstanding webinar actually we just experienced on exploring innovations and the power of collaboration among libraries and information science professionals. And on behalf of the organizing committee and the International University of Management, I would like to extend my heartfelt appreciation to each and every one of you for your invaluable contribution to this event. First and foremost, I would like to express our deepest appreciation to our esteemed speakers who shared their insights, expertise, and experiences with us. Your thought-provoking presentations and engaging discussion have truly enriched our understanding of the evolving landscape of libraries and information science. Your dedication to pushing the boundaries of knowledge and fostering collaboration is truly inspiring. I would also like to sincerely thank the organizing committee for their meticulous planning, tireless efforts, and unwavering commitment to making this webinar a resounding success. Their vision and attention to details have been instrumental in shaping this event and ensuring a seamless experience for all of us. Our sincere appreciation also goes to the International University of Management for this collaboration and support in organizing this webinar. You have been very instrumental in bringing together professionals from diverse backgrounds and fostering a spirit of collaboration and innovation. So your commitment to promoting the exchange of ideas and advancement in the field of libraries and information science is commendable, and we are grateful really for your contribution. So I also like to acknowledge the efforts of the technical team behind the scenes who worked tirelessly to ensure the smooth functioning of the webinar platform and addressed all the technical challenges that we had in the morning. So you see, as we started, everything was just as we planned. So your expertise and dedication has really played a crucial role in the success of this event. Lastly, but certainly not least, I want to express my heartfelt appreciation to all the participants who joined us today. Your active engagement, insightful questions, and eagerness to learn made this webinar an interactive and dynamic experience. Your presence has enriched the discussion and made this event a vibrant platform for sharing knowledge and for fostering collaboration. So as we conclude this webinar, I would like us to carry forward the spirit of collaboration and innovation we have witnessed today. Let us continue to explore new horizons, embrace emerging technology, and work together to shape the future of libraries and information science. Once again, colleagues, I extend my deepest gratitude to each and every one of you for your invaluable contribution and for making this webinar a memorable experience. May the knowledge gained here today inspires to embark on new path and transform the world of libraries and information science. Thank you, colleagues, and best wishes to all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Melba. Yes.
Thank you very much. Doug, do you have anything to say? Doug, do you have anything to say?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't hear you. I'm sorry. Okay. Thank you very much, Melba and team for doing this, putting this from our just short discussion that day, and straight away we have this. We should continue this, yes.
Yes.
This, and maybe we can start to discuss other things that we think matters for all of us, that we can learn from each other as well. Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Dragana, your last words?
Last words, well, not really last.
Oh, not really last. Yeah, we'll see you again.
Yes, yes. Well, I just want to thank you all for having me, and congratulations on this wonderful webinar. I think we all can just say to ourselves, there's so much to learn from each other. There is so much to learn. We have, as the previous speaker said, all the resources in the world, but nothing compares to this sharing of knowledge and this one-on-one communication. You can read everything, you can go to classes, and this will never be replaced. So thank you so much. It was a great success.
Thank you so much. Farah?
Sorry, I cannot open up my camera. I have a technical issue with my camera because my key is around.
Okay.
All right, thank you so much for this opportunity, and I love to share about professional image and also citizen science for future. So any future collaboration and anyone who have a same interest with me, please contact me. And I also love to collaborate with everyone, open to all. And thank you, Melba, for this opportunity. So I got a new friends from Croatia, Namibia, Nigeria, and everywhere. Thank you so much and good job, everyone.
Thank you very much, Farah. John?
Thank
Nigeria?
you.
Did you leave already? Okay. No, thank you so much. I think the chairperson has already closed. I can't over-dilute whatever she's already said. Sincere appreciation to everyone that has attended this session, and I hope we go back and implement. Thank you so much, colleagues. Thank you. Really appreciate.
Thank you. Bye, colleagues.
Bye-bye.